Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Ramayana10. As you may remember, Dasaratha decided to make the yagna. "We will obey you and the great ones," said the ministers, and the great hall emptied itself slowly. There was a strange glow of happiness on the face of the king. Something inside him seemed to assure him that he would be blessed with a son. With that thought uppermost in his mind, he entered the inner apartments and told his wives about his decision. When he was alone in his chambers, came to the king his charioteer, Sumantra. He said, "My lord, I remembered suddenly something which I had heard long ago. I thought it but right that I should come and tell you immediately. The news is very ancient, and so it has slipped from my memory until now. But when you spoke of the yagna, I remembered it. Many years ago, the famous rishi by name Sanat Kumar had spoken about the birth of your son in the presence of several rishis. He said, Kashyapa, the revered sage, has a son by name Vibhandaka. He will be the father of Rishya Shringa. This son of Vibhandaka will live in the forest with his father. He will not know any other human being, and he will look to his father for the smallest action which he has to perform. He will be innocent in the ways of the world. In course of time, a king will be ruling the country by name Anga. His name will be Romapada. Because of a slight misdeed of the king, his country will suffer. A terrible famine will visit the country of Anga, and the king will ask the advice of holy men as to how he can pacify the gods and bring the rain to the country. And the holy men will say, 'O king, if the son of the sage Vibhandaka is brought to the country, rain will follow in his wake. The young man is called Rishashringa, and if you bring him to your country and give your daughter Shanta to him in marriage, there will be an end to the dreadful famine.' The king will wonder as to how this can be achieved. He will request his wise ministers and preceptors in his court to go to the forest to bring the young sage. But the anger of Vibhandaka is too well known, and no one will have the courage to go. They will advise the king to send the courtesans of the palace to the forest, and they will succeed where others are afraid to venture. Rishashringa will later preside over a yagna, which will be performed by Dasaratha, and because of this, the king will be the father of sons." Sumantra continued, "My lord, if you should, with the permission of Guru Vasishta, approach the rishi Rishashringa and beseech him to perform a yagna for you, the prophecy of Sanat Kumar is certain to come true. Let me assure you that Sanat Kumar has said that you will be the father of 4 sons, who will be valiant and who will be famed the world over. Please go to the kingdom of Anga and do not hesitate or delay." 5. The Ashvamedha Yagna. King Dasaratha spoke to Vasishta and Vamadeva about the words of Sanat Kumar, which had been repeated to him by Sumantra. The gurus were only too happy to have Rishashringa among them during the performance of the yagna. The king, therefore, accompanied by a large army and by his chief ministers and preceptors, began the journey to Anga, and after traveling through forests and several countries, arrived at the city where Romapada lived. Hearing about the coming of the great emperor of Koshal, Romapada hurried out of his city and went to the city gates to welcome Dasaratha with great enthusiasm. The 2 kings greeted each other with great affection, and together they went to the presence of Rishashringa. The rishi was glowing like a flame. The king of the Koshals fell at his feet and honored him. Romapada told him about the great friendship which had existed between himself and King Dasaratha. Sadhguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.